Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Tensions have escalated near the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway in the Persian Gulf. On May 14th, a vessel anchored off the coast of the United Arab Emirates was seized by unauthorized individuals and subsequently escorted towards Iranian territory. Separately, an Indian-flagged cargo ship, the Haji Ali, was attacked, caught fire, and sank off the coast of Oman on May 13th while en route from Somalia to Sharjah, UAE. All 14 Indian crew members were safely rescued by the Omani Coast Guard. While the identities of those responsible for these incidents were not immediately clear, they occurred shortly after Iranian officials reiterated their assertion of control over the waterway and their right to seize oil tankers linked to the United States. The Indian Foreign Ministry condemned the attack on its vessel as unacceptable. This report comes from Yahoo News, citing the Associated Press. According to Al Jazeera, early signs indicate that the United States and China are moving towards a business-first relationship following President Donald Trump's recent three-day visit to Beijing for a summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Accompanied by prominent American CEOs, Trump praised Xi and emphasized enhancing economic cooperation, market access for U.S. businesses in China, and increasing Chinese investment in American industries. Notably absent from the White House readout was any mention of China's rare earth export controls. Analysts suggest both leaders are seeking to compartmentalize relations, focusing on pragmatic areas of common interest to minimize competition and manage differences, aiming for constructive strategic stability after the turmoil of 2025. While Xi reiterated Taiwan as the most important issue and warned of potential clashes, neither the U.S. nor Chinese statements detailed discussions on Taiwan or future arms sales. Similarly, despite the Strait of Hormuz being shuttered since the U.S.-Israel war on Iran, the U.S. readout noted an agreement on keeping it open and Xi's interest in more American oil, while China's readout omitted any mention of Iran. These omissions suggest lingering disagreements, yet a mutual desire to move forward and establish guardrails against uncontrolled escalation. NPR reports that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced Friday that a Russian missile attack on a Kyiv apartment building the previous day resulted in 24 deaths, including 3 children. Emergency workers concluded their search through the building's rubble after more than a day. The cruise missile struck a 9-story corner block during what the Ukrainian Air Force described as Russia's most extensive barrage on the country since its full-scale invasion. The assault primarily targeted the Ukrainian capital, where 48 people, including 2 children, were wounded. Zelensky stated that Moscow had launched over 1,560 drones against Ukrainian population centers since Wednesday, damaging approximately 180 sites nationwide, including more than 50 residential buildings. Analysis of the missile wreckage indicated it was built in the second quarter of this year, suggesting Russia is circumventing global sanctions to acquire necessary components for missile production. Kyiv observed an official day of mourning for the victims. Additionally, Russia and Ukraine conducted a prisoner swap on Friday, with 205 individuals returning to each country, marking the first phase of a planned 1,000 for 1,000 exchange. CBS News reports a new Ebola outbreak in Congo's remote Ituri province, confirmed by the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So far, 65 deaths and 246 suspected cases have been recorded, primarily in Mongwalu and Rwampara health zones. The highly contagious Ebola virus, often fatal, was detected in 13 of 20 tested samples. This outbreak follows another in Congo just 5 months ago, which killed 43 people. Africa CDC expresses significant concern about the potential for further rapid spread due to intense population movement, mining activities, and ongoing insecurity in the affected eastern region, which is over 620 miles from the capital, Kinshasa. The proximity to Uganda and South Sudan also raises regional alarm. An urgent high-level coordination meeting is being convened by Africa CDC with health authorities from Congo, Uganda, and South Sudan, along with key partners, to focus on immediate response, cross-border coordination, surveillance, and resource mobilization. This marks Congo's 17th Ebola outbreak since 1976. NHK reports that long-term Japanese government bond yields surged on Friday, reaching their highest level in 29 years. The benchmark 10-year JGB yield touched 2.73%, a level not seen since May 1997. This significant rise is primarily attributed to growing inflation concerns impacting the bond market. Several factors are contributing to this trend. A sharp increase in April's producer price index has fueled speculation that the Bank of Japan might raise interest rates as early as June. Additionally, there's a possibility the government could draft a supplementary budget for the current fiscal year. SMBC Nikko Securities chief market economist Maruyama Yoshimasa highlighted Japan's fiscal concerns, rising crude oil prices potentially affecting utility bills, and higher yields in overseas markets as key drivers. He suggested that potential government action in response to rising energy costs could lead to a supplementary budget, further pushing yields up. While Finance Minister Katayama Satsuki ruled out an immediate need for an extra budget on Friday, she affirmed the government's readiness to act flexibly to manage various economic risks. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.